Years ago, I saw a TV show. It was around the time of the World Cup. I think it was in Brazil. They followed a family who lived on this rubbish tip. They went through the garbage. They looked for plastic and things to recycle to make a living. And there was two parents and there was three kids, and they lived in this old shack, and they drove this old truck, this old van that was maybe 40, 50 years of age. I realized in watching it how happy these people are. They had nothing. They had no running water. They lived in garbage. They lived on garbage, and they scavenged for food and things to stay alive. At the time, I worked and lived in Dublin. I worked in wealthy houses. I was a painter, and I painted wealthy middle class and upper class houses, really fancy places, really expensive fittings and lamps and lights and curtains and all this shit. I had a deep realization at the time that this family on this rubbish tip, scavengers, were way freer and happier than many of the people that I'd been working for and meeting in Ireland. It is just so interesting that us in the West really have no idea what's happening. We look out at poorer countries or war zones and we think we know what's happening. We don't really know the full story unless you live in these countries and unless you're mixing with these people. I live in Mexico. There's a lot of poverty here, but there's also a lot of freedom here. There's way more freedom here than there is in Ireland, where I grew up and lived for most of my life. So that's why I'm in Mexico. I prefer to be free than to be comfortable. It's just interesting to see how the human ego is very controlling about other people and other parts of the world. It's always interesting to look how we always think we know best for other people.